Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be starting in just a few minutes. If you can find your seat. We have a few people still grabbing something to eat, but we're going to start our program, and I would like to introduce Bob Armstrong to come up and say a few words and give a blessing, please. Bob?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Baby steps right now. Don't want her old. It's exciting.
Thank you, Scott. And Molly, don't worry, I'm still not going to kiss you. It's a long story, but it's a good one. Let's bow our head. Let's bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this wonderful day, for this opportunity to share these moments with these former students and to honor them and their experiences and their successes. We're feeling truly blessed that we can do that. And we thank you for your presence in our lives. And we would ask that at this time, in addition to your love and your consideration and your thoughts, that we would ask for your blessing upon this food that we are now eating. And we would ask that you bless it to our use and us to your service. Please always keep us mindful of many needs of others. And we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Bob. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Scott Smith. I'm the Vice President of Advancement, Legislative, and Alumni Affairs here at Lake Superior State University. I'd like to welcome everyone to the 30th Annual Great Lakes State Weekend and the 2024 Lake Superior State University Alumni Awards and Athletic Hall of Fame Induction. This is our homecoming. Welcome back. Welcome home. There's a lot going on this weekend. We have events like this, we have hockey games, we have our tailgate, and we have many other things going on. But it's the conversations and catch-ups between these events that are just as special. It's the Palace Thursday evening. Spending time with the Davies brothers, sitting next to each other, in matching crossed arm poses as they traded insults and compliments, to the enjoyment of all within earshot. And I know that Tori and Beth and I were laughing a lot listening to those two go back and forth. And it's seeing all the smiles as old friends hug, and all of a sudden it's like LSSU was just yesterday. For many, it's that moment when they see Professor Saluja and the relief of knowing there is no paper due. And there is no test tomorrow, and it's okay. We're adults now. We can just relax and have fun. Officially, it started Thursday evening when Dr. Steve Mulholland, a standout student athlete in hockey, in fact, an academic All-American, who led the Lakers in points all 4 years he played, came to campus early from London, England, not Ontario, to share an inspirational presentation with our campus and community. If you were there, you know how interesting it was and how truly accomplished Dr. Mulholland's career has been. Steve, welcome home, and thank you for convincing Anne, your lovely and also very accomplished wife, to join you so you can share with her the place that helped you become who you are. We're proud of you and proud to call you a Laker. We'll hear from Dr. Mulholland, Steve, Mully, later today. And you'll hear from our other award recipients and, and very deserving Hall of Fame inductees as well. We're proud. We're proud of them all. And proud they chose LSSU to pursue their degrees and excel as students, athletes, and professionals. We'd like to start our ceremony by first recognizing Any previous honorees who are with us today, I'd like to ask any past award recipients of the Paul Ripley Award for Young Alumni, the Kenneth J. Scholdace Alumni Achievement Award, the Dr. Donald and Catherine Finlayson Distinguished Citizen Award, and the Outstanding Alumnus Alumna Award. Would you please stand as a group and be recognized? Next, I would like to ask all LSSU Athletic Hall of Fame inductees and any former and current LSSU student athlete to stand and be recognized. Now we'd like to recognize members of the Alumni Association Board. Foundation board members who are here. These are alumni who serve as volunteers helping to organize events like this and give of their time, talent, and treasure. The alumni board and foundation board members, please stand. Would our current and former trustees please stand and be recognized at this time? You served a while ago. They weren't even trustees at the time. You were a...
Board of Control.
You were on the Board of Control. All right. Last, we'd like to recognize any LSSU faculty, staff, or retirees. Would you please stand and be recognized? It's now my pleasure to introduce Lake Superior State University President Dr. David Travis.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. What a great group. This room is packed. The Laker love, you can feel it. I am in my 5th month as president here. If you haven't had a chance to meet me, please come forward at some point, send me an email, we'll grab a cup of coffee, we'll grab lunch, come by my office. Let's chat today, ideally. One of the things that I've been focused on early on in my time here is getting to know the people that make this place what it is. And it's right in front of me in many ways. We have people here from our local community, we have our current staff, we have a lot of our graduates, athletics, those that support us financially, so many different ways that I feel the Laker love in this room. And I really am so blessed to be able to be leading this institution with so many great talented and committed people. My job is not an easy one. We have some challenges we're working on early on here, but I know that we're going to succeed. It's not insurmountable. But days like today make my job the best job in the world. So I want to say thank you to all of you for the opportunity to come together like this and celebrate what we all feel, and that's the Laker love for this university. We are here to recognize 6 exceptional people. And believe me, they are exceptional. All you have to do is look at the program on your tables in front of you and read about all of their amazing accomplishments. We will be hearing from each of them, as Scott said. We'll be sharing some of their accomplishments and how proud we are of all of them here in a few minutes. But before we begin, I do just want to say a few words about this amazing institution in my short time here. Some of the things that I've identified, I kind of knew going in were really what defined this place, but certainly have been reinforced over and over again. I feel like in some ways I'm preaching to the choir here, but I want to say these things anyway and ask you for your help. One thing that people have heard me say over and over in my short time here is this is an amazing institution that not enough people know about. We can't be a hidden gem any longer. We need to shine a bright light on this amazing institution and make sure the world knows how we transform students' lives every single day. Our institution is committed to personalized learning. We keep our class sizes small. Our faculty get to know our students on a first name basis and get to know things about them that they recognize will help them become successful. We call that personalized learning. So many of you in the room know what I'm talking about. You know your professors. You've kept in touch with your professors. I talked to a professor this week who said he wrote a letter of recommendation for a student. I said, when did he graduate? He said 2005. Almost 20 years ago. He's still writing letters of recommendation for former students. So when you're a Laker for life. We're committed to supporting you. Your careers are certainly what we want to see you be happy and successful. But if you have a change of career, or you need a little boost, or you need some help in some way, we're here for you for life. And that's one thing this university is very committed to. Certainly one of the reasons that many of you are here today. We also have a commitment to helping students find their place on this campus in whatever way they feel makes them special. We have a wide range of student types, student backgrounds. We have students from small towns, we have students from cities, we have students from Canada, we have students from other states, we have international students. They all bring different histories and perspectives to the university. We want them to find a place of belonging on this campus. A campus this size allows our students to get involved and really be important, whether it be in athletics, whether it be through performances, whether it be helping to create to release all of the salmon that you find in the Great Lakes. They start here at this university from our hatchery. So we give our students experiences that are life transforming, that they really feel the depth of those impacts and they take them with them for the rest of their career. So I ask for your help as we move forward and bring this university to the next level. I'm absolutely confident we will get there, but we need your assistance in singing the praises of what this great university has done for all of you and will hopefully do for the next generation of students. So I thank you in advance for that. Now, for our first award, it is my privilege this afternoon to present our Parent of the Year Award. Each year we invite our students to nominate their parent or parents for this prestigious award. As you can imagine, we get a lot of heartfelt letters. We get a lot of amazing testimonials from students for their parents and how they inspired them and provided the support they needed to be successful at Lake State and in their lives. As I thought about this, as I thought about how we recognize our students, I thought about my own parents, my father, who was an academic, who was definitely my academic role model, who was someone that inspired me to want to work with students my entire adult life. I wanted to help transform students' lives. I wanted to be part of that educational mission that he was such a big part of. He also taught me the comforts of public speaking, which I'm doing right now, and told me, I'll never forget a conversation we had where he used to go around and do a lot of talks on his research. And I asked him once, how are you not nervous about giving those talks? And he said, when I look out at an audience, I remember that everyone's here for the same reason. And when you're coming together for a common reason, it's the first step towards friendship. And so he thinks of his audiences as friends. And when you're talking in front of a group of friends, what's there to be scared of? So I want to say hello, friends. Great to meet and see all of you again. And I take that with me every time I stand up in front of a group like this to give a speech. My mother was a farm girl from Saskatchewan who had a 7th grade education. She taught me the rules of life in terms of work ethic and never giving up. She decided to pursue her college degree at the age of 40. That's when she first got her GED and her graduation certificate, and then she got a college degree. Never in my life did I hear my mother once say, this is too difficult or this is not fair. Those are just obstacles in life that you have to work through. Put your head down and plow forward. And so in this first 4 or 5 months in this job, when I've had a few obstacles, I've thought about my mom and she's reminded me, plow forward. Things happen sometimes in life that are easy, some things happen in life that are hard. You got to work your way through it and get it done. We will get this university where we want it to be in the next couple of years. I can promise you that, through hard work and dedication and never giving up. Before we announce this year's winner, I'd like to share an excerpt from the winning essay. Our winner and her 3 daughters immigrated to the United States from Nigeria, a war-torn country where women have suffered many atrocities, to provide them with a better life and a better future. Her daughter wrote in her nomination letter the following: my mother gave up her 30s to relearn how to live life in a whole different country. including going to school to get her physical therapy assistant license. She spent her 30s retraining me and my two little sisters on her own how to prioritize, and that leaning on God and having a good education are the only things that will take you far in life. She recently decided to go back to school for nursing. She is my hero, and in a world full of people that live for themselves, she lives for her children. Isn't that amazing? Would you please welcome this year's LSSU Parent of the Year, Essay Osumili, and her daughter, Uwama Osumili. Being here today. Congratulations to all of our Hall of Fame inductees, and go Lakers. Thank you.
Thank you, President Travis. It is a privilege to be here to be part of an event like this that recognizes successful alumni and friends of Lake Superior State University. Each year, the LSSU Alumni Association is proud to honor a select few alumni. When you consider there are more than 34,000 graduates and former students of the Sioux Branch of Michigan Tech, Lake Superior State College, and Lake Superior State University, you realize these special people are in a pretty elite group. Our first award this evening is our Outstanding Alumnus Award. This award honors personal and professional accomplishments and involvement with LSSU. This is the highest honor the association presents. The award highlights significant achievements of alumni who serve as leaders in our region, state, and nations. This year's recipient, a very deserving one, is Robert Stephen Mulholland, MD, a 1983 graduate. And here to introduce Steve is LSSU alumni and former mayor of Sault Ste. Marie and 1973 graduate, Tony Basbas.
Thank you very much. Some of this might be repetitive because I think it's the third or fourth time Steve's been introduced, but I might have some other things involved too. So, honorees, President Travis, Chairman Lukenda, families, alumni, friends, and staff. We have all had the opportunity to read the significant accomplishments of Dr. Stephen Mulholland over the span of 40 years. What an extraordinary career. Attending LSSU from 1979 to 1983, Stephen was a scholar student and a very talented hockey player. Affectionately known as Mully, he played for three different coaches, Rick Yo, Bill Selman, and Frank Angelo. Mully excelled at all levels of the game. Steve is the only Division I hockey player to lead his team in scoring all 4 seasons, realizing it's been 41 years. Another significant achievement in Steve's illustrious career. He was the best player on the ice for the Lakers. Great eye-hand coordination, agility, quickness, toughness, and a knowledge of the game. He was super competitive. Steve and his teammates were local fans' favorites and spent several holidays with local families for fun, games, and meals. Great times. I am sure those memories are still present today. Reviewing Steve's background, I realized we have a few things in common. He has, as I said, he's been prolific on many television broadcasts, the media, and even had his own weekly show. I have been in the news. I've been on television for 28 years. Sort of a reality show as mayor of the city, and that was before I retired. Additionally, during my years as mayor of this noble city, my wife Margaret and I hosted the Madrigal Dinner. This event is the annual fundraiser for the hospice of the Eastern UP. My lady and I and a cast of characters are dressed in medieval attire. We welcome all to the festive pageant during Christmas at our castle, Kewadin Dreammakers Theater. Well, Lord Stephen and Lady Anne are actually king and queen of their own 1,000-year-old castle, compelling me to continue to introduce our 2024 outstanding alumnus in medieval dialect. So, me lords, ladies, alumni, and guests. Past master of Laker ice, pucks, and sticks for the year 1979 and 1983. Winner of the most odorous equipment bag award. Distinguished guardian, mentor, and patent keeper for the world's surgeons de plastics. Keeper of the keys of financial wisdoms. Lord of his manor and Duke to the Queen of his castle. Humble and obedient spouse to Dr. and Lady Anne Kimberly. Proud sire of 6 progeny. And first runner-up in the Tony Stark Ironman tonsorial competition. We can only imagine what the future holds for this exceptional couple. All here present, please make welcome the 2024 Outstanding Alumnus of Lake Superior State University, Dr. Robert Stephen Mulholland, Lord Mully.
Wow. Anne, let's have Tony beheaded immediately. I do have to say, I am deeply honored and humbled by the recognition of this award. You know, I came to Lake State '79 to play hockey. I'm a professional hockey player. And to get a degree. Turns out I got an education. That education wasn't a GPA, it wasn't A's and B's. Started on the ice, as mentioned by Tony. 3 coaches in 4 years, different styles, different tactics, different leadership, different management. Served me well in life, how to respond to the challenges of those you answer to, and their styles and their tactics. Met some incredible guys. It's like a band of brothers. You serve, you never forget. When hockey guys meet, you might have talked for a decade. It's like 10 minutes. Steve Davies, Bob Ciotti, to my long-term acquaintances, and you know, when you serve and you learn camaraderie, sacrifice, strategy, and commitment. Those also are educational foundations for success. I have a kind of family background where I wasn't able to go back for Thanksgivings and Christmas, but the community, the Bospices, the Godbees who are here today, all of them, McClellans, the Claxtons, took me in, opened their doors, showed me the kind of family, love one could aspire to. It took me 38 years, but I eventually found my queen, my soulmate, my lovely and amazing, talented wife Anne, who's been able to meet a lot of you this weekend. I think she didn't realize this place was so small. We own condominiums with more people. But the warmth and the integrity, it's real. There's the classroom experiences, and small campus like this, having attended the University of Toronto, and to have access to tenured professors where you can talk for hours about strategy, about validation, credentialing, and about proof of concepts, identifying opportunities was invaluable. You're not speaking to an assistant TA, but a professor. I spent hours with Dr. Person, Dr. Dewey, Chuck Jones, Dr. Chandra, and these had pivotal impact on my approach to analyzing opportunity and strategizing what ideas I had really were different, really could be transformative. Yeah, I played with 3 coaches, 4 years. I scored some goals, I had some assists, I played professional hockey. But the education I got allowed me to transition to medical school at U of T. I became a plastic surgeon because I loved the sight of blood. I felt if I could carve with a stick, I could excel with a scalpel. I enjoyed being a plastic surgeon. And when I look at this room of incredible people, and Anne says to me, well, look at those implants. I realize I'm talking about knees and hips, and I'm getting older. From medicine and plastic surgery, managed care, Canada style, which is impacting managed care US style now, I left for a private entrepreneurial venture. I borrowed some money and built a private surgery center. And I had a vision to create a business model that didn't exist. It was successful, it worked out, I had fun. But more importantly, Anne and I built a family with 6 children. I raised them well and sent them off in life. And honey, they're never allowed back, ever. This is live stream. Hi kids. Hi kids. I meant that. I had a couple ideas in 2008 to create non-excisional opportunities that didn't involve true plastic surgery. They were wrapped around patents and validation and credentialing that I could track back to the experiences I had with the PhDs and professors that I had here. I was lucky. I worked hard. It was the right place, right time. I was able to create a publicly traded multi-billion-dollar company, which gave me the freedom to enjoy propagating that information around the world and change lives one wrinkle at a time. And so when I look at, on a word like this, and the honor that it represents, my name may be on it, but all your names should be on it. It's been an honor that you allowed us in your life and the impact that you had on so many student athletes, students in general, and the ripple effect and dominoes that those play across the world. It's truly amazing. So thank you for the honor of being with you. Thank you again.
Congratulations, Steve. Well done. Thank you for your words. Our next award of the afternoon is the Paul Ripley Award for Young Alumni. Paul Ripley served as the university's first alumni director and was a member of the first class in 1946. A longtime administrator, held several positions during his tenure, including Director of Career Planning and Placement and Director of College Relations. An associate professor of journalism, Ripley established the Laker Log alumni newspaper, and published it for more than 20 years. The Laker Log remains a vital link between LSSU and alumni today. Paul retired in 1987 after more than 20 years of service. This award honors graduates who have enjoyed exceptional personal and professional success early in their careers. Those honored must have graduated within the past 15 years and/or be of no more than 40 years of age. Receiving the Paul Ripley Award for Young Alumni is Gina Redzinski Trotman, a 2012 graduate, and introducing her is her dad, Terry.
I think this is going to be a very hard one to follow. I am one of the people that just got to hit things. So I'm speaking after mayor, presidents, a king and queen of the castle. Congratulations on your award too. I'm here. My name again is Terry Redzinski. I'm here with my beautiful wife Judy. My son couldn't make it today. His name is Todd, to honor my daughter Gina Redzinski Trotman for her award today. Yesterday I was at the hockey game, and in between the first and second periods, they on a jumbotron, I think still call them jumbotrons, they listed all of her early in life, of, what she's done, accomplished so far. So I'm not going to get into that. I just wanted to kind of go as a father would do and just remember things that she did. People always ask me, and hope I'm PC on this too, is how's the girl know so much about sports? So I don't know if you knew, but Gina has a master's degree in broadcast journalism, specializing in sports. And it's really, that's probably what I did. All of her class and good looks and everything comes from her mother. But her uncles and sitting in at the man caves and going to games and things like that, she just learned things and she became a passion with that. She didn't want to do anything else but sports. You, President and stuff, mentioned Lake State. We've gained so many new daughters and new friends and things here, and all the great people here. And also I gained a son-in-law that she met here. Zach Trotman played hockey here. So Judy and I couldn't really be more happy that she's getting this award. I was in tears on the way here, and I was in tears at the hockey game yesterday watching the Jumbotron. So one thing, just, I don't know, someone told me 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to try to be fast. We went to Manhattan, Judy and I, and Todd and Gina, when they were younger. I went to Rockefeller Center. We were a Today Show fans. So we went there, and I'm very anxious, and I do not like being somewhere I don't like. So after the tour, we ended up in this gift shop. And of course, the gift shop, you had to wait, and there was a green screen with El Roker and stuff like that Gina put her name in. And I'm like, we gotta wait here a half hour for this. So nobody was in there, and they had a clock there. So it's 30 minutes, 25, 20, and as we got to 15 and 10 and stuff, 100 people are lining up to watch my little daughter with braces on, glasses, and not to bore you guys, but she just knocked it out the park. Just remember El Roker, not in person, but on the green screen, said, and Gina, take it from local TV. So with that being said, I would like to bring up my beautiful daughter, very proud, Judy and I, of Gina Trotman. Can't use the words Redzinski anymore. So I guess just bringing her up. Come on up, Gina.
Remember that Al Roker video very differently. It was terrible.
We got a video of it.
I was 10, so I guess that was impressive, but I remember I was pointing to California, like here. It was Canada, like it was terrible. For starters, thank you, my dad. I'm not gonna get to the heavy emotional stuff right off the bat. So we'll get back to him. First of all, I am honored. I am honored to be given an award with the word young in it. Emphasis, I know that there's some current student athletes over there. The word young is in this award. Because I tell ya, the 30s come and 2 kids later come and you don't feel so young anymore. You cover high school athletes who have a language of their own that I literally don't understand. And it really gets you when you cover professional athletes. I like to play a game sometimes called, are any of these dudes younger than me? And the answer more times than not is no. The entire Lions locker room is younger than me. So, for more reasons than just being considered young for once, I am honored for that. But there are a lot of reasons, and this place means so much to me, and of course this award means so much to me as well. It was here that I slaved over a 63-page thesis report, researching and detailing the changing landscape of women in sports, where women started, hopefully where they can go. I researched it in detail, hoping I could one day be a member of that landscape, and to be back here, to be honored after all of that. I mean, it's surreal, does it not feel real? We've been walking all week, and it just feels like yesterday, but at the same time, it was a long time ago. Second, I'm just proud. I'm so proud of the things I've done to be even considered for this award. And I'm so proud that it all started here at Lake State. Any athlete knows the recruiting process. It could have been anywhere. There were places I were going to visit and I didn't. And it ended up being here. And I have so many colleagues in my career who took different paths. Big schools and big places and everything. And this city girl, Detroiter, had my eyes set on NYU. We went to Manhattan when I was little, and we walked NYU's campus, my mom and I, and instead I just headed 5 hours up I-75 north, and I would never change a single thing. Looking back then, it was the best decision that I ever could have made. I will say, when I got recruited here, I came up and said I want to go into journalism, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's actually perfect, because by the time your sophomore year comes, finish your prereqs, and we're actually getting a journalism program. That was a nice recruiting tactic, because that journalism program didn't come, but they got me to come here and play volleyball. So what I say I wouldn't change, though, is because when I came here, I created a toolbox. And anytime I speak on panels or I speak to aspiring journalists, I say get your toolbox, because whether or not you're in journalism in any career here, you know that you want to be competitive, be willing, and be able to do everything. It was here that I wrote for the local newspaper, for the website. I set up the radio stations, pre and post game equipment. I joked yesterday with Bill Crawford about this. I was never allowed on air. I tried, but all I got to do was set up all their heavy equipment, all their cords and everything. And then after the hockey game, I'd go and I'd tear it down for them. I did stats for basketball and hockey. I ran all those stats down to the locker room in between periods. I did photography on the side. I did my first internship in Detroit at Channel 7, where I ended up working, of course. But when I was down there, I compared myself to all these kids who came from broadcast programs, who knew how to do all these things. And I came back here, and I was like, okay, if I want to be competitive in this, I need to do more. So I went to Chris Dunbar, I went to John Shibley, and I said, if you buy me Final Cut Pro, give me a camera, I will turn a video story for you every week. And they're like, okay, that sounds like free work, so here you go. They gave me this editing system, and that's what I did. I did stories on, breast cancer events, and I did stories on the hockey team and different things. But I say all of that because all I did was ask, and I had the support here to do all those things. And my toolbox has range. I went to Costa Rica with the honors tropical ecology class to do their video and photography. And I lived in a hut for 2 weeks, literally in the jungle. I will never forget the look on my mom's face at Detroit Metro Airport when I came down the escalator with like a bandana on my head, and I was full of dirt, and she was like, what happened to you? Lived in a hut studying spiders and bats and, doing the things I loved while doing it, and got to represent the university at the same time. So there are so many reasons why I'm proud, but in this day and age, in this world that we live in, I think so many people are putting less and less emphasis on pride, and I'm so proud to have been a Laker and to come through Sault Ste. Marie as well. Third, and most significantly, I'm grateful. I brought up a napkin because I could see where this is heading. And this is where my dad comes back in, the man who drove me up here when I was 17 years old to do my official visit and my practice with the team. And I'll never forget Erin McLean, who was a class before she graduated when I got up here. She set me a quick middle hit. It was like my first hit, surrounded by, of course, girls who are years older than me, seniors in college, and I'm just a senior in high school. And I just went for this middle hit. I just remember I smoked it. And I was like, I looked over at my dad, he was leaning against the stands in Bud Cooper Gymnasium, and I was like, holy crap, that was great. And you know, you were the one who brought me here, and he mentioned my mom, and he kind of touched on this, that I get my compassion and my heart from my mom. I care about people so much. And I get my tenacity and my work ethic, and no offense to my mom, my athleticism. I would not be a sliver of what I am without the two of you, and I am the luckiest human being on earth to be raised by the two of you. And I think as you become a parent yourself, you look at it and you're like, oh my God, you guys did everything right. So thank you to both of you from the bottom of my heart. They always say you marry someone like your dad, right? You guys laugh. Yeah. The boy that I spotted during an NCAA rules meeting, first day on campus, we all gathered and had to learn what to do, what not to do, and how not to get the university in trouble. I saw this tall blonde kid, and I just assumed he was from like Saskatchewan or something, and I was like, oh my God. So I ran back to my dorm and I Googled the roster. And I pulled it up and I was like, Zach Trotman? He was probably born in Indiana, lived in Novi? I was like, oh my gosh. I ran to my teammate, who was sitting right here, and I was like, did you see that Zach Trotman kid? He's so cute. And here it is. It was on a very, very sober walk from downtown back towards campus that we were basically kids at the time. We just laid it out in NHL, and I said, I want to be on TV, I want to be in journalism, and we both just said, okay, and we did it. We did it together, and flash forward 15 years later, 2 kids later, these kids are literally the kids I've dreamed about in my head. We have a fully lived life, it feels, with hockey and traveling and all of these things, but we have so much more to go. You keep me grounded, and you keep me motivated, and it's a weird balance that you have to do, but you do it, and I would be nothing. I would be nothing without you. And as this university gave me my husband, it gave me the most incredible friends. It gave me teammates, and I know so many people in this room know how special those people are. Teammates turn friends, friends that stood alongside us on our wedding day, and friends who have genuinely given me just the most genuine friendship that a person could ever hope for. And now spanning over 2 decades, which again is where I want to emphasize that people in this room are considering me young today. This place, so much has happened here, and over everything, it's really just about the people, and I know everyone in this room can relate to that. It's the friends and the teachers and the mentors and the coaches and all those experiences with those people culminate into this award. So again, I'm honored, I am proud, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
Congratulations, Gina. A very well-deserved award. Some of you may have caught Gina's report, but many, but this one last year, when she used all of Lake State's vanished words in one report. And she also gave Lake State a great shout out, so thank you so much. Our next award is the Kenneth J. Scholdice Alumni Achievement Award. Dr. Scholdice served as Lake State's first chancellor and president from 1966 until his retirement in 1983. During his tenure, Lake Superior grew from a 2-year extension of Michigan Tech to an autonomous 4-year college. Enrollment grew from 700 students in 65 to 2,800 in 1983. The Norris Center, the Sisler Center, the library, named after him, and other campus projects were completed under his guidance. This award recognizes personal and professional successes that serve as outstanding examples to LSSU graduates. The award highlights significant achievements of alumni who serve as leaders in our region, state, and nations. This year's recipient is Steve Davies, 1977 grad. Please welcome his presenter, LSSU alumni, former Laker hockey player and Laker hockey coach, and current athletic director at Northern Michigan University, Rick Comley, a 1971 grad. Rick.
Well, congrats to everybody. It never fails to amaze me the quality of people receiving awards. Like, it's so difficult to get nominated. There's so many great people that you think about and you do it. To narrow it down and come up, you can see already just the quality that comes up here. I'm so proud of Lake Superior. And Diane and I were thrilled to come down today. And we have to go back quickly because I do have a job again. But I was asked to do this. I was thrilled by it, you know, and I have to be careful about stories because it was 50 years ago. And there are things I think I remember. And then, like this weekend with the 74 team here, you hear more stories after the fact that you don't want to believe were true. Like, I'm sure there was a walk back from downtown by this recipient. I'm not sure if it was a sober walk. One thing I will say about Steve Davies, but first of all, I want to congratulate Dr. Travis. I think one of the most difficult jobs today is being a president. You know, enrollment, retention, fundraising, unbelievable challenge. And I think what we've needed here is somebody who's invested, wants to be here, who plans to be here, that leads the university where it gets to go. It's not easy. It takes everybody involved, everybody's help and support. But it's been a great school for a long time. It will continue to be a great school, and it produces great people. So my honor today is to present this award to a family member that's really important to me. Like, I was blessed as a senior to play with a freshman who was the modern day talented hockey player. Had so much skill. Tommy Davies had unbelievable skill level. And when we started to talk about recruiting a younger brother, Ron and I at the time kind of envisioned a very similar player. Who could skate, who had puck skills, who could make things happen, who was involved in the game from start to finish. And we got that. We did get that. Steve Davies had excellent talent. He played the game hard. He got distracted at times. But with his upbringing, with an older brother who was teaching him the way, you know, he was a very, very good player for us. And what he's accomplished, you could read in the program, but I'm not one bit surprised with what he was able to take from his upbringing, what he did here, where he's taken it, the success he's had. So it's a tremendous honor for me to make this presentation to Steve Davies.
These are all my friends. I wish I knew you intimately. I can't say that I do. First and foremost, I wanted to acknowledge my buddy Mully in his speech. I didn't understand most of the words. It was obvious I should have spent more time in class. But it's great to be back in the hood, and I wanted to thank Lake State for this award. This is so special. I mean, you guys have a host of very qualified people to choose from. When I originally got the call from Scott Smith back in January, he said you're the 2024 nominee for the Shoalice Award. I said, who is this? And he You know, I verified it was somebody, was a legitimate call, and I said, "You sure you got the right guy?" He assured me that he had the right guy, and I was completely blown away. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate all the other award winners today and all the Hall of Fame inductees, and also acknowledge the two national championship teams from '74 and '94. I'm sure we all appreciate and are all proud of what we'd achieved. To have had the opportunity to my name be associated with Dr. Kenneth Scholdice in this particular award, acknowledging personal and professional achievement, is amazing. For those of you who knew Dr. Scholdice, I had the privilege of coming up every once in a while when my schedule would allow to watch my brother Tom play. And my parents would be with me, and we would be hosted at the Scholdice's house on campus. Again, Dr. Scholdice was just such a class act, so to be associated with his name to me means a lot. Wow. My family got introduced to Lake State in 1970 when my brother Tom was a Laker freshman. I was fortunate enough to play with my brother as a freshman in 1973, and I watched closely as Tom broke all defensemen scoring records en route to our first place finish in the CCHA in our inaugural season as a Division I program, and then followed it up by NAIA championship. It was really, in my view, a very pivotal year for Laker hockey. We had arrived. In this true spirit of this award, you realize that your professional achievements are generally a focus of your early life, but it's really your personal achievements over the course of your entire life that define the person you become. Although I'm proud of the hockey companies that I've owned over the last 45 years, I'm particularly proud of what those companies stood and stand for today, which is addressing the affordability issues in the game. Unfortunately, the game has grown far too expensive, and it's become exclusive as opposed to inclusive. I mean, every kid, as far as I'm concerned, should have the opportunity to play this great game. To achieve personal growth in your life, you need to be surrounded by special people. Oh boy, this is hard for me. I have to thank my wife for 42 years. And my children. Wow. Right there in a minute. My kids aren't here. They're all over North America. Brandon, Kim, Matthew, and Kristen. They're all great kids. They all work real hard, and they all live by the Davies Creed. There are no free lunches. I think we'd all agree that there is no greater success than a successful family. Thank you. To Rick Conley, thank you for allowing me to be a Laker. Without you, I wouldn't have had the on-ice opportunities to improve my game. However, it couldn't have been easy. To the detriment of my personal growth, though, I have to thank two particular people, Kim Gellert and Pat Timms, both teammates of mine, who made me understand the true spirit of being a child. Pat was married after our freshman year, and his wife, Catherine, undertook the responsibility to see that I matured. They failed miserably. It was obvious that I had quite a journey ahead of me to become a responsible adult. On the other hand, my good buddy Kim Gellert was a great friend and teammate, and actually gave me my first business advice years after leaving Lake State. Don't spend more money than you make. Never a truer word spoken, but spoken from a man that's never had a job. To all my teammates from 73 to 77 that I had the pleasure and pain of playing with, and believe me, there were some bad guys out there sometimes, so you guys were awesome. I've never been part of a closer hockey family in my life. I want to thank the university for giving me such a great education, and particularly Professor Tom Mikwich from the math department, who made math fun, even if I don't even know if that's possible. But math taught me how to think, while hockey taught me how to compete. I'd like to think I've used both those lessons well. To both Tom Coates and Andrew Rubenstein, a big thank you for your tireless work in reaching out to the alumni in the last number of years. From a fundraising standpoint, I think we're headed in the right direction. To Lake State, thank you for organizing such a great weekend. To rekindle old friendships that, once together again, they don't feel very old. It seems like only yesterday that we were all together, getting ready for another game at the Puller, where the ice was always tilted in our favor. Thank you again for this great award.
Congratulations, Steve. Another wonderful speech. They're getting a little more challenging to get through. Well worth it. Now, one more thing for Steve Davies. Steve, it's a special day. Receiving the Schuldeis Award, you knew President Schuldeis. What else is special about today, Steve?
It's my 70th birthday. Did everybody bring gifts?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, those are our Alumni Awards for this year. And it's an honor to be up here to present these terrific people and the lovely people who introduced them. We have now the other half of our program today, which is just as special, and that is our Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And Lake State is very fortunate to have, and it is my pleasure to introduce our athletic director, Tori Lindley.
Good afternoon. Didn't get a chance to say goodbye to Rick, but I know he had to go, and if I had, I would have reminded him that the Capo Cup stays right here in Sault Ste. Marie, so really glad that Rick could come, and we'll look forward to kicking his ass later in the season. It's really an honor and a privilege to be here as the athletic director, serving in the shadow of the greats like Bud Cooper. I appreciate the opportunity that's been given to me by our Board of Trustees, as well as our fantastic new president, Dr. Travis. Congratulations to the award winners that we've seen so far. Molly, absolutely incredible. Steve, Gina, what a great part of the day and the weekend for us to celebrate your alum success. Just to close the loop very quickly though, she lost it in her notes, but Gina, you're welcome for the tie that I allowed you to borrow. A little last minute wardrobe, you're welcome.
My husband tied it for me.
But now we'd like to shift in gears a little bit, and the opportunity now is to create 3 new members and 3 new inductees into our Athletic Hall of Fame. And what's most honorable about the position that I'm allowed to be able to do is to represent our talented and incredible 228 student athletes in 14 sports. Additionally, be able to lead alongside of talented coaches, including our head coaches, who certainly educate and lead and do such great things to shape our student athletes. And when I sit among this group of Laker greats, I'm only thinking of the 228 that are currently student athletes, and which among those will be future inductees, which among those will be future Alum Award winners, and it feels so good because this community, this Lake State community, supports their greats, supports their student athletes, supports their students in the special ways that Dr. Travis has talked about, that Molly talked about, that Gina talked about, that Steve talked about. And so that's really what makes this university special, and I feel blessed. So what I'd like to do now is to turn the attention to our Hall of Fame inductees. Influential, accomplished, resilient, determined, legendary. Next, we'll take the time to introduce our first 3 inductees into the 18th class of the LSSU Athletics Hall of Fame. Established in 1995, the Hall of Fame honors coaches, athletics administrators, most importantly, student athletes, for their greatness here at Lake Superior State University. This year's class truly is special, and there's a board, of course, that from an alum perspective has a very challenging task each year to choose the next inductees into our Athletic Hall of Fame. And so I'd like to thank that board, who largely stays behind the scenes and anonymous for a lot of reasons, but it is a difficult task. And one of the things that we're most proud of year in and year out is to be able to honor former student athletes from a number of different sport programs. So this year is no different. This year we're able to represent our volleyball program, our women's basketball program, and of course our ice hockey program. So we're thrilled to have them and their families here today. So we'll get started with our first presenter of our first inductee. And so Terry Smith, we're just so happy to have Terry back on campus, is no stranger to Lake State, as he served as the Laker men's basketball coach from 1991 to 1997, and has nearly 40 years of college experience coaching basketball, leading young men, leading young women to shape them into future Hall of Fame inductees. So I'm honored to please join me in welcoming Terry to the stage as he introduces former Laker men's basketball player Eric Mank, class of 1996, to accept the award. Terry.
So you get a coaching job in 1992 at Lake Superior State. The program has basically finished last for about the last 15 years. What do you do? What do you do? Okay? You go out and find a great player, and that would be Eric Mink. You go out and find somebody with impeccable character, with great parents. That would be Eric Mink. I want to say something about Eric's parents right now. He lost his mom this summer. Great lady, and I'm sure she's here with us today. Also, Eric's dad, Al, is here. Great guy, and obviously had a fabulous influence on Eric. You'd go out and find an absolute warrior. A warrior. That would be Eric Mink. You'd go find a great teammate. And I'm not just saying this. Eric was a fabulous, fabulous teammate, and someone that I coached, just a great, great teammate. You'd go find someone you can trust. Trust is big in sports. All the athletes in here know what trust is on the court, off the court, and with team chemistry. That would be Eric Mink. You'd want someone you could go to a knife fight with. Let's be honest. Sports are a knife fight. I want to go with Eric Mink. And if you felt that you were against the world, if the world was against you, and you didn't have many people to pick to go with you, to battle for yourselves, to battle for your team, against the world, against the opponent, one of the first people you'd take would be Eric Mink. On a personal note, I want to thank Eric and all my guys that came. We've got 3 or 4 or 5. This was an incredible, incredible journey we had. We went from last to first, won the league championship and the tournament championship in 1996. an incredible journey, incredible championship. I'd like to thank them for the greatest championship I've ever been involved in, and I've had a few, but this at Lake State doesn't compare. Incredible, incredible, incredible championship, and it propelled every one of us that were involved in that program to greater things in life, and including the incredible career and life, and now parent and husband. Eric is just a fabulous man, and I'm very, very, very proud to introduce Eric Mink.
Thank you, Coach Smith. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. I'd like to thank the university, the athletic department, the men's basketball program, and the Hall of Fame committee for today. I'd like to congratulate the Alumni Award winners and the Chris Nance and Keith Aldridge for their Hall of Fame inductions. It's an honor for me to be included in the class with two of the great student athletes in Laker history. I'd like to go through a few thank yous here. First would be Bill Crawford. Bill, thank you for your positivity and your impact on Laker athletics through the years. Deb McPherson. Deb was a professor and academic advisor of mine when I was here at school. Thank you, Deb, for your help, your guidance, and your patience. I'd like to thank my parents. I'm grateful that I grew up with parents that provided me with love, support, and opportunity. My dad really inspired me to play basketball. It was a favorite sport of his, and he used to take me to high school, college, and professional games. We saw a lot of great teams and a lot of great players play through the years. Thank you, Dad. It means a lot to me that you're here today. And I think Mom would have enjoyed today. I'd like to thank my wife, Erin, and my kids, Alexa and Sebastian. Thank you for your love and support, and thank you for lighting my way. Coach Terry Smith. Coach Smith recruited me here at school, and he always pushed me to get the most out of my ability, to be a better teammate, to be a better leader. Thank you, Coach Smith, for the opportunity, for pushing me so hard. Thank you for being a great example of what passion looks like. I'd also like to thank you for your patience, because I was known to test it occasionally. Galen Duncan. I know Galen is an Alumni Award winner here, and he was one of my favorite teammates here at Lake State. And Galen's 2 years older than me, but he put a lot of trust and a lot of confidence in me, and as a young player, that meant a lot. So thank you, Galen, for your mentorship, and thanks for being here today. Don Carlson. Donnie and I came into school together, and right away I felt that Donnie and I had a connection both on and off the court. He was just a great player and a great friend, and I was fortunate to play with him all 4 years. Thank you, DC, for your friendship, and thanks for making me look good all them years. As previously mentioned, I was a senior on the men's basketball team in 1996 that was fortunate enough to tie for the GLIAC championship and win the GLIAC tournament championship. That was definitely the highlight of my time here at Lake State, but getting to those championships wasn't easy. My first 3 years here we finished in the bottom half of the GLIAC all 3 seasons. And even in our championship season, it started off on shaky ground. We were 2-3, I believe, in our first 5 GLIAC games, and in the 6th game, I rolled my ankle real bad before halftime, and I was not able to play in the second half. And I thought that my injury may give our team a reason to unravel like we had in the past. But the opposite happened. We got stronger, and we won that game by 21 points. And from the time of my injury to the end of the season, we won 13 of our last 15 GLIAC games, including our last 8 GLIAC games. The way we turned that season around was really a credit to Coach Smith. It was a credit to our senior leadership with Don Carlson and Mike Lazark, and it was a credit to the character of the individuals on that team. I've always viewed those last 7 weeks of my career here as a special time in my life. But it wasn't just a special time for me, it was a special time for the team, it was a special time for the program, and it was a special time for our parents, because they also lived through the disappointment and frustration of the tough times. So seeing the smiles on their faces and the joy that our team was able to bring to them was very fulfilling. So I'm grateful we were able to accomplish something special here. I'm grateful for the 3.5-year struggle that taught us the important lesson of resilience. It was the perseverance required during that struggle that make those accomplishments in 1996 still so valuable to me today. I also value the people that I met here at Lake Superior State. I was surrounded by great people who I enjoyed being around. Going through that period of my life with the people that I went through it with was just the foundation of my fond memories here at school. There were a lot of tough workouts, there were some tough losses, and there was a lot of development that needed to be endured. But through it all, it was always us against the world. That was our team motto. Coach touched on it, us against the world. I love playing with my teammates, I love playing for Coach Smith, and I love being a Laker. Thank you so much for this honor today, and thank you for the impact that you've had on my life.
Coach Smith, thanks again for coming back to campus. Great to have you here. Eric, congratulations. Now we will shift attention to our women's basketball program and their storied history. Our second Hall of Fame inductee will be introduced by Gwen Wilkie. Gwen is a graduate in 1991. She's also no stranger to Lake Superior State, as she played on our women's basketball team from 1984 to 1988. Gwen served as an assistant coach from 1995 to 1997 and was our head coach from in the 1997-98 season. Gwen is here. Please welcome Gwen to the podium.
Thank you. So I got an email asking if I would present Chris, and I was told it had to stay within so many words. And the last one of these I did at my high school, they gave me 5 minutes, and at 20 they cut me off. So I have something to follow so that doesn't happen. So I actually was here from 91 to 98, but Chris was on the first team I had the opportunity to coach here at Lake Superior. The first group of girls that all came in together. She has quite a few teammates here today. It was fun having a local girl on the team. It brought many fans to the Bud Cooper Gymnasium. It was filled most of the time. We had a great run. She had an outstanding freshman year, as everyone has seen and heard last night if you were at the hockey game. She came in, was our GLIAC Freshman Player of the Year, did outstanding. Unfortunately had a knee injury the next year, but persevered, and with the encouragement of her teammates and coaches, she came back, won many awards in the GLIAC, made a NCAA appearance in '94, and had an outstanding athletic career. She went on to get her biology degree here at Lake State, decided to be a nurse, so she went on and got a nursing degree, and has been an outstanding nurse for the last 25 plus years here in Michigan, and has won awards on the nursing side as well. I had the opportunity to go over last year, 2 years ago. She was inducted into the UP Hall of Fame. She was one of the first inductees into her high school Hall of Fame at Newberry. And now she's getting inducted here, which is special, of course, because she played here, played for me. And she has some very supportive teammates here with her today. Mary Arfstrom, who was our team manager, and Bob, you guys were all talking about the family that you had here. And the Arfstroms were a very important part of the women's basketball program and still continue to be. We had many dinners out at their house, a lot of fun, lots of stories, lots of laughs. So thank you, Bob and Mary. The 91-93 team gets together every couple years, and they were so kind to invite me as their coach to come and participate. And it's been a blast. We have lots of fun, lots of laughs. They informed me that we had to be prepared to do a walk-up song, and I'm going, what is this, you know, and asked Tammy and Jill who run it, and so they were telling us, and it was such a good time. And for all of the hard workouts, the 6 a.m. workouts we did, the running, these girls still, when they get together today, we do workouts. But now I have to work out with them. So part of their thing when we said we were doing this is they said, Coach, you have to bring your shoes, you have to be ready to work out. And I'm going, really? I'm a little bit older, come on. But it's a lot of fun. We still get together every couple years. In talking to some of Chris's teammates, a few of the comments, what impressed me most about Nance, besides her basketball talent, was that she is truly second to none, a great person. And that anybody that knows Chris knows that that is the absolute truth. Simply a fantastic human being, and I'm grateful that basketball brought us together to give me the privilege to know her and gain a lifelong friend. Nance is a unique person, and I love her personality. And everybody was in agreement that her humor is probably her best quality. To know Chris is to love her. She's a great person and a great friend and a great teammate. I'm honored to introduce and congratulate Chris to this year's Hall of Fame class.
I couldn't remember if Aaron said we had 600 minutes or 600 words, but we'll make this quick. I only have a few minutes and I have a lot of people to thank. Patrick, thank you for the nomination. That was very kind of you. To the Hall of Fame committee, a sincere thank you for your decision. Of course, I thank God for equipping me with the genetics and the skills necessary for excelling in basketball. And while that window seemed to close a lot sooner than I'd hoped, it provided me immense opportunities and allowed me to make memories of a lifetime while it was open. I am forever grateful to the Newberry and the EUP communities who supported me throughout my career. There are so many people to thank, and I know they won't ever see their names here on the screen, but honestly, they all made contributions. Tons and tons of pickup games with so many other kids who were just good, solid athletes. And the townspeople who took an interest, like Mike Chisholm, a blue-collar guy who stopped me one day and told me, if you practice slow, you're gonna play slow. No kid wants to hear that, and yet how good it was to have people like him who invested into my success. A lot of people from my small town knew that even without playing my senior year of basketball due to a knee injury, I still received letters of interest from the big and prestigious D1 schools in and around Michigan. And choosing to attend and play for LSSU was a bit of a hard sell to a lot of people. Like my advanced math teacher, who was probably like most math teachers, all business and never distracted from a day's lesson, Mr. Johnson stopped mid-sentence during his instruction and looked right at me and asked, incredulously, "You're not even going to visit Notre Dame?" To be perfectly honest, coming to LSSU was even a hard sell to myself on occasion. Yet today I stand here with no regrets about that decision. I have to sincerely thank my coaches, Erica and Gwen. Handpicking and surrounding me with exceptional teammates. It was because of these amazing group of girls that I would choose LSSU again and again over all the other offers. They are exactly what I needed then and now. Back in the day, they were competitive, smart, determined. Today, they are exceptionally successful, inspiring, and dedicated women. I have learned so much from them. I love the flair they share when we are all together, and I will forever cherish our basketball bond. They are part of the Lake State that I know and love, and I can't thank them enough for making an effort to stay connected throughout the years. You guys are, as Tina Turner sings so well, simply the best. And finally, everyone knows how important a good cheerleader is, right? My mom was the best and loudest one in Michigan. Mom, thank you for all your support on and off the court.
You're simply the best.
I love you and I love you.
Thank you, Gwen, and congratulations, Chris. Long overdue. Thank you so much. Right now, we will introduce our final Hall of Fame inductee of the afternoon. Our presenter, Jen Sorensen, is a 1997 alum. She was a classmate and a friend of our third Hall of Fame inductee this afternoon. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Jen Sorensen as she introduces former Laker hockey standout Keith Aldridge, class of '96.
We won't tell my English students that I'm going to read from a script a little bit. First of all, I want to say thank you very much to Keith for asking me to do this today. I also want to say it's been great seeing so many familiar faces. I just live in St. Ignace. I don't get here as much as I want to, but I really appreciate everything you all do at this university to keep this family together. This is great, so thank you. Okay. When Keith first asked me to speak today, I wasn't sure that I was the right person for this. First of all, I was around for a lot of the Laker hockey shenanigans, and it was pretty risky to put me up here to do this. I'll save those stories for later. Also, I know that Sean Tillere, my former husband, would likely be the one up here today if that was possible. And Lord knows he could talk hockey and stats better than anyone. So I know that he is very grateful that I don't have to do that part because I would mess it up. But I want to thank you to the Athletic Association, the Hall of Fame, and everyone for taking care of that part for me, because that was a lot of hard work to put this together, so thank you. For those of you who may not know, Keith and I have been friends for over 30 years. His wife Andy and I are fellow Lakers. We were college roommates. Keith and my former husband Sean lived and played here together from 1992 to 1996. Sean was extremely close to Keith. They were more like brothers than teammates. We were joking over there a little while ago about Feldy and I, how this happened. They were so close and such good friends, but we all kind of agreed that they had to be roommates because they were like the perfect match. Keith was a little wild and crazy at times, and Sean was extremely quiet, and they balanced each other out very well. They were in each other's weddings, and Mrs. Aldrich even traveled all the way from Bloomfield Hills up to St. Ignace and back in one day to attend our wedding. That screams the kind of family that we have, right? Sean spent time with her family. He adored them. He loved catching up with Keith over the years. He admired what a great coach you became, what a great husband you became, and of course, what a great father you are. He absolutely loved playing hockey with Keith and those guys. That team was electric, and they brought so much pride and excitement to Lake Superior State University in this area. Their success was in large part due to Keith's talent and leadership. He led by example, and sometimes with a bit of intimidation. If you have ever seen that icy blue-eyed death stare, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He also played with a great amount of heart and intensity. He was never afraid to speak up when the guys needed some extra motivation, and most importantly, Keith understood that to have chemistry on the ice, you had to be family off the ice. If anyone messed with his teammates or friends, he defended them even if it meant trouble for him. When the guys were spending too much time with their ladies, it was often Keith who would wrangle them for a guy's night. I didn't appreciate that male bonding very much at the time, but I sure do now, because I understand that those moments were helping to create our Laker family. A family that would not be possible without Keith and Ange. Aldi. I call him Aldi. I hope that you know how deserving you are of this honor. You have played an integral role in keeping our hockey family together, and this year we needed that more than ever. Not only have you always been the one to reunite us, you check in on us, you ask the tough questions, and you offer help. You agreed without hesitation to travel hundreds of miles to a tiny remote Manitoba town to speak at Sean's memorial, and your beautiful stories and funny memories helped us all feel better. Then after some really tough times, you understood that the guys needed an opportunity to reconnect, and you and your family made that happen yet again. You have done so much to keep our family, our Laker family, intact, and for that I am so grateful. This college, those teams, Coach Jay, Bill Crawford, and especially you, Keith, gave Sean some of those best years of his life. And because of you, my sons have this legacy to be proud of, and this family to count on. And I can't thank you enough for that. For those reasons and so many more, it is my sincere honor to present Keith Aldrich as a Laker Athletic Hall of Fame inductee.
Yes, my roommate and one of my best friends should be up here right now, or doing that introduction. And unfortunately, we lost Sean this year, and we lost another important teammate to that '94 championship team, Blaine Locker. So it's kind of been a rough year for Laker hockey on that team. A lot of emotions. Yeah, it was, Jen, that was really, really good, Jen. Thank you. Really good. Yes. I'd like to thank the boys that were on that '94 team and that really made Laker hockey. Got Mike Matucci here, Curtis Miller, Gino Palante, Brian Felsner, Scotty McCabe. I got my sons here. It's unbelievable. If anybody doesn't know how I felt about the program, our first child is named Laker. Yeah, I know. When I called my dad from the hospital in Germany and said, he asked what the name was, the phone went dead for a minute. But Laker hockey and that locker room meant an awful lot to me and an awful lot to a lot of boys. A lot of growing up. Coach Jackson did a wonderful job, so I'd really like to thank him as well. Lake State was an interesting time for me in 4 years. Had a lot of great memories. I came here to win national championships, and we did. I kind of got a funny story. I don't know if everybody will take it kind of funny or not. So back when I was getting recruited, I was playing in Rochester, Minnesota in the USHL. And Coach Jackson came to watch. He knew my father from Detroit hockey and my brother from Detroit hockey. And not only was he a coach, but he was a friend of the family. So Coach Jackson shows up on a Friday night to Rochester, Minnesota, talks to me after the game, and not one thing was mentioned about Lake Superior State, and I thought my life had ended. My housing mother, who lost a few years ago, she was a great lady. She would tell the story of how I was after Coach Jackson. I didn't think I was going to get recruited here, and I was very, very upset. We had another game on Sunday. After the game, Coach Jackson invited me for a visit to school here. And boy, you talk about down in the dumps, soaring with the Eagles. It was a great day for myself. I always wanted to be a Laker. And I remember traveling from Minnesota through the Detroit airport up to Sault Ste. Marie, met with Coach Jackson and the team. Actually spent the night here in the Sisler Center. And traveling back, my dad always told me, don't let them know what you're thinking. And so I kind of just played dumb with Coach Jackson, and they didn't think I was going to show up. And I'm traveling through Metro Detroit Airport, and I called my mom. I already made my mind up where I was going to school. And Mom, I just committed to Lake Superior State, got a full ride, blah, 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 and the phone went dead. My mother wanted me to go to Notre Dame. Yeah, good Catholic that she was. But only wanted to come here, and that was the best decision I ever made in my life. Met my beautiful wife, Angie. She's given me 3 beautiful boys. I got beautiful teammates. And I just couldn't be happier enough that I came to Lake Superior State. Jen did kind of touch on Steve. We kind of sound like we were maybe the same kind of DNA. And Jeff, our Coach Jackson, really straightened me out to become a young man, which was that was good that it happened. I had a little bit of wild side. But anyway, my in-laws are here, which is awesome. Congratulations to Eric and Chris and everybody else. Dr. Saluja, who I haven't seen in a long time, was one of my professors. I never could really understand him. You can never assume that I'll pass this class, but I did, Doc. And I don't know how I passed, but I think maybe you're just being nice to me, but that's okay. But it's great to see Bill Crawford here as well. I haven't seen Bill in a long, long time. And really just our memory. Is that the Tulare? Ready?
No. It
No,
looks
that's
like
not
him.
ready?
No.
Oh my God, I thought that was Mr. Tulare.
It does look like
I apologize, I thought you were Mr. Tulare. I apologize. I mean, you look just like Mr. Tulare. Wow. I was like, you guys came all the way from Winnipeg? Sorry about that. I thought Jenny would have told me that the Tulares were here.
Does look like
Anyway, that was a little awkward moment. But I had quite a few of those at Lake State, so it doesn't really change anything. Anyway, that's enough. Thank you very much. What an honor to be here, and I know we're all going to Maloney's to have a couple, so it's on me if anybody wants to show up. Thank you.
Congratulations, Keith. Absolutely incredible. What a great class. Jen, thank you for honoring Sean so quickly. It's hard to believe the synergies that can happen at a university like this, but I would argue only a university like this could create the type of synergies that allow us to celebrate achievement academically and athletically. And if you consider that in 1996, all three of these inductees walked across the stage earning their degree from Lake Superior State University. They're the 80th, 81st, and 82nd inductees into our prestigious Hall of Fame. One more round of applause. I'll exit, but before I do, Scott has a number of things to close us out. Thank you to Scott, thank you to Chase for creating this fantastic PowerPoint. Of course, the advancement staff, all their work behind the scenes to make this event incredible. And then his name's been mentioned a couple times, but I'd be remiss. An absolute Laker legend who I've just cherished the opportunity to get to know him. Now, calling his 45th hockey season at Lake State, Bill Crawford.
Standing over Bill Crawford. Very nice and very well deserved. Thank you, everyone, for being with us today. Thanks to our nominating committees. It is not easy to be on the nominating committees, as attested by the quality of the people here today. So thank you for your efforts. Please enjoy the rest of your Great Lake State weekend. There's a tailgate at 4 p.m. after free drinks at Maloney's. Hockey at 6 p.m. Let's go Lakers. Welcome home, Lakers, and go Lake State. Thank you all.
I didn't know if I was going to get through that with those guys, but I mean, I think
When I went ARC, I